कच्ची सड़क थी और हम अंग्रेजी में वाटर बॉर्न रैकेट कहते हैं, वो सड़क थी यहाँ तक। इसके आगे
यहाँ पर लेडीज जो यहाँ पर आए हैं और 50 साल हमारी जो एक हमने फतेह हासिल की थी इस इलाके में, उसकी सालगिरह के लिए। और ज़्यादा तौर पर बताऊँ तो
टू ऑल ऑफ यू, आज यहाँ हम इकट्ठा हुए हैं नौगाम में। 1971 में जो हमारी एक शानदार फतेह हासिल की थी हमने पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ, उसकी एक जंग यहाँ भी लड़ी गई थी जहाँ लिपा वैली में हमारी सेनाओं ने तकरीबन 46 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर 46 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर का एरिया कैप्चर किया। और हमें खुशी की बात है कि जिस यूनिट जो भारतीय सेना की यूनिट थी 9 सिख, जिसने ये मुकम्मल फतेह हासिल की थी, उसी के कुछ नुमाइंदे, कुछ ऑफिसर्स, कुछ जेसीओ इस मौके पर यहाँ पर आए और उन्होंने आवाम के साथ में इंटरैक्ट किया। और जो बात उन्होंने हाईलाइट की कि ये जो जीत उन्होंने हासिल की, उस समय उनको यहाँ के आवाम का काफ़ी सपोर्ट मिला था। खुद आपने सुना कि बता रहे थे कि जो उन्होंने हासिल किया, यहाँ के लोगों ने जो की मदद की रसद ले जाने में, कैजुअलिटीज़ को एवैक्यूएट करने में, उसके बगैर शायद वो अपना मिशन पूरा नहीं कर सकते। और उनकी इस जो नरेशन उन्होंने किया, यहाँ पे लोग उन्होंने भी सुना। और हमें लगता है कि जो अब की जनरेशन है कि जो 50 साल पहले जो लोगों ने कुर्बानी देकर जो फतेह हासिल की थी, उससे इंस्पिरेशन दी। और जो आवाम के साथ हमारा जो कोऑर्डिनेशन का सिलसिला है, अच्छे तालमेल का सिलसिला है, वो आज भी जारी है। और सेना आवाम के सपोर्ट के साथ अपना जो मैंडेटेड टास्क है उसको पूरा करने में फुल्ली कमिटेड है और वचनबद्ध है। थैंक यू।
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Uncovering India. Since last 1 year, the government has been commemorating the completion of 50 years of Bangladesh Liberation War, which is celebrated as Vijay Divas every 16 December. That marks the creation of Bangladesh out of East Pakistan on 16 December 1971. And it is known as one of the biggest military victories after World War II by any country, where 90,000 Pakistani soldiers had surrendered in the Eastern Front. And to mark the victory, the commemoration has been going on in various parts of the country. Also was held recently in the Baramulla sector of Kashmir under the aegis of 19th Infantry Division and the 17th Brigade. And they commemorated by felicitating the veterans who had participated in that war. And one of those veterans who was part of that war is with us, Lieutenant Colonel Col Gupta Ray, retired, who fought in the Naugam area and was part of the 9th Sikh Regiment, which I was responsible for giving a bloody nose to the Pakistani army and captured a huge territory from the Pakistani. Good evening, Col Gupta Ray. Welcome to this session of Uncovering India. Recently, you were felicitated by the Indian Army in the Naugam sector, where you had fought the 1971 battle. So, how did it feel to get felicitated after 50 years of the war?
You see, this has been a very emotive period for me. When I look back to this 50 years, the country was just born, 24-year-old, and I was that time 25-year-old, thereby being 1 year senior to the country as far as birth is concerned. And those days, it was a very placid day, those by and large. Everybody, many countries just got independence, and they're in the way of development. And I joined in the army in 1969 in Amritsar, and then from there we had gone to Tangdar Valley in 69 and having a generally peaceful time, because situation that time was not as volatile as today. Both the countries, India, Pakistan, they are on the line of their development, and China, though we had a war in 62 and had a bad result, but it's okay. We didn't have been having confrontation like as of today. Even in Pakistan, with Pakistan also, though we had a 65 war, but things were not as volatile or as conflicting as it today. So from Tangdar, after about 2 years of stay in Tangdar in 71, though when we were expecting our posting in the peace station after mandatory 2.5 to 3 years of stay in field area, we were told to go and occupy a subsector at Naugam. There were changes in the brigade, and in 71, sometime in March, April, we had gone for a attack by infiltration exercise in Gulmarg area, and from there, we had come to take over the Naugam subsector defenses. We had the operation role of defending the area, especially from the infiltration, which was going on since the very beginning of 47, and if required, to defend the area against enemy attack. Things were very peaceful. Where defense had a role, but we didn't expect anything to come very shortly. But things changed. Political situation changed in Pakistan due to various reasons. There is no reason, we don't have to discuss it here. But our occupation of the defenses in Naugam sector almost had the same timing of that of Operation Searchlight, which was let loose by the Pakistan government on the East Bengal those days, or East Pakistan those days. So the things, due to the lack of media coverage, as opposed to today, we didn't know much of thing what is happening, but we knew something is happening, and it was more of a political. We didn't expect a war break out. We thought any moment the political situation can change with the understanding with the various parties, and we had we've been having a normal time despite the problem at East Pakistan. But by about June, July, things were hotting up. And we were getting some military intelligence. Those days, the media was not as active today, and we didn't have the information at the click of the mobile or computer. So we used to have a paper after, say, 3-4 days, and whatever the information was passed to the channel, to the battalion headquarters, from the army headquarters, to read that and get to know something is happening. But it never was mentioned that we may have to go for war immediately or sometime. So, but we are getting prepared, all right. That kind of a feedback was coming. So by August, we were told to occupy the operation area, operation location. That is from the base. We had occupied all the posts, which are generally not held with strength, but we had beefed up the strength, and holding our headquarters went up. That time we were deployed between 9,000 to 12,000 height, holding various posts. So now, by October, we knew that things as balloon can go up anytime, and the situation really deteriorated in that area between India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. That time, East Bengal, and ultimately, on 3rd December, things started, and we were holding a defensive role, so we are not planned to geared up or planned to go for offensive. In Kashmir, in that area, in that division, we had no offensive or offensive didn't take place. So suddenly on 4th of December, we were told to go and raid a post opposite to us named Thanda Pani. So commanding officer, very able commanding officer, Colonel Chingappa, later on, General Chingappa died in harness because of cancer, commanding the 12th Division Ahmedabad. He was told to go and conduct raid. So he then redeployed his battalion and picked up Bravo Company, which had gone for the attack at Sandapani. And that attack succeeded with 11 killed of the Pakistani and 3 Pakistanis captured as POW, prisoner of war, and we had 1 killed and 3 wounded. So that gave impetus to our senior commanders, and formation go forward and forward. We also, like a warrior of olden days, we just charged in Pakistan. In Pakistan, those troops we had a battalion across POK. So they were, I don't know, they didn't really give a pitched battle against us. And by 16th of December, I'm not going to the details of the battle. By 16th of December, we captured 45 square kilometers of mountainous area ranging from 96,700 to about 12,500. And in that, you can understand the December when it was extremely cold. And those days we didn't have that winter clothing and things like that, what it is today. Even living accommodation, we used to stay in the tents. in that altitude and at that altitude and in that temperature. However, we successfully captured and 45 square kilometers, as big as a city or a middle level city or even a big city. So that is the biggest compliment then we are getting from all over the defenses. People came and visited us, and we really were top of the world.
So how did it feel after 50 years getting felicitated by the current the crop of military leaders in public view. Did you feel nostalgic? Did you feel the memories coming back at that time? How was the feeling?
Now, sometime in October, beginning of October, we received invitation from the brigade, 17th Infantry Brigade, which hosted the entire thing because they are occupying that area. Incidentally, we had captured with a battalion today that is being held by a brigade. So you can understand how brigade means 3 times strength of a battalion, 3.5 times strength of a battalion. So you can understand that how difficult area it was and how they're holding now. So sometime in the beginning of the October, we got invitation for them to requesting us to visit, and they wanted to commemorate the victors of Lipa Valley and want us to visit that place, revisit and recreate the history. So we're very happy, though I was initially I was little apprehensive of the cold and difficult areas and age, my own age and all, but then we had all 3, 4, 5 of us decided we must go because many of the other officers, either they're not there in this world or they're too old to go. So 5 of us went there, and it was going down the memory line, seeing the same place we landed in Srinagar airport, going to the same road. When reached Naugam, I saw the same place, same tracks we used to walk around. But only thing it has developed to a great extent when there was a battalion rear. Now there's a brigade rear with a lot of complements of EME, workshop, this, that. So it was a big change. But then I was always thinking and seeing up my days. And when I went into the mess, I saw where we used to sit, how we used to have the lunch and dinner and talk about many things, having beer, playing chess, playing card in the off time, and also discussing about the various things. So all these memories, and beside that mess, we had a double-decker house where my wife and I used to stay. Incidentally, immediately after marriage, our honeymoon was at Naugam only. So my wife also is very emotionally inclined towards Naugam. She couldn't go because of the knee problem. So our family life also started from Naugam. It was a special attraction for us. So then they had held a very good reception. Best thing I liked was that the 71 civilian veterans who helped us in providing logistic support, because without them, I'm sure 102%, 200% that we couldn't have subsisted in the battle, because it was 40 kilometers from the base to our battlefield, and there was no road those days. And even if there was a road, it was covered by the snow, 4 feet snow, because of the winter season. These people would walk again and again 40 kilometers going and coming back. Many times I saw the boots were torn to cover up their legs. They covered their legs with rags, tied up with some kind of rope or something, and they used to walk in rags. That was dedication. I don't know what happened and what happened, but those people those days were emotionally totally involved with this war, and some of them had come. Those were alive, or those who could come like us. Number was slender, maybe about 15, 20, but we had elders each other in our arms, and we had a group photographs. I wish I could send those group photographs. And they were even now that day also on 25th or 26th of October, they fully praised for 9/6, and they vouched their support for the Indian Army, and that was a very good experience I had. Thereafter, we went to the forward areas. Now the things have changed for the good roads, good accommodations, good deployment of troops, good weapons. I can't talk details of the technicality, but it is teeming with our force, and I liked their enthusiasm. And the way everyone from Juan to soldier to officer, brigadier, general, they all welcomed us as if we have done something, and at least we have done a great thing, and they acknowledged that. And I was thinking that that day's visit was, that die was cast 50 years ago, when we didn't know this, they today would come and will be recognized sometime, someday, somewhere. So that was a very emotional, structured time, and they had flooded us with mementos. Even BSF was there. They also given us mementos. So it was a team. It was I found it a complete team. There is no bar. There is no gap in the spirit, and homogeneity, and the, I think, also battle technique and battle plan. So I really, it was. I mean, I can't really explain. I don't have that much of vocabulary to explain what I felt, but what I said is some part of it I have just told.
So you have been in Kashmir. You have served almost large part of your life in Kashmir before the terrorism broke out, and now post-terrorism also. You served in the 90s, just before the Kargil war broke out, and then again you went back after more than 20 years. You visited Kashmir again. So what do you see in all these years? What has changed and what has not changed? How do you describe Kashmir from somebody who has seen the valley up close, which is now, it is said that it is burning? So how do you look at it?
There's a saying that, the English translation of that, if there is a heaven that is in here in Kashmir, that is in Urdu, there is a phrase which I don't really recollect, but it is really true. Every area of Kashmir is so beautiful and so enchanting that we don't have to go to Switzerland to get the beauty. Every place of Kashmir is Switzerland. Now I have a experience of Kashmir from 69 to today 2021, a span of 53 years. When we were there initially, as I mentioned, 9/6 in Tangdar Valley and other places, it was so peaceful. But for one place called Sopur, and some infiltration is to also take place that time also. But there is no dar. There is nothing for anyone. Even sometimes in a month or two, we could have some time to go to an orchard and spread out a ground sheet and have some whatever we carried from the mess. Beside that, the people there used to come and throng around us and give us all the heap of apples and this, that. They used to stand there. They try to give as much of hospitality they could. So that was the time when I went. Then I again went in 1981, but that time also things didn't change much in that 10 years. And things are peaceful by and large. Our defenses preparation was there, but I didn't find a very big change. At the same time, the equation with the civil people was also good. Nothing much. We didn't feel anything that a situation of present day can ever come up. As we know, things started getting bad from 80s end and all. 90 when I was there, that time I found that we are living in a fort area. This every 100 meters, there's this thing. Soldiers are either guarding or having pickets or having the situation changed. And civilian, thereafter for 10, 15 years, we saw the civilian riots and what is happening. So that we all know basically, I don't have to repeat. But now, having gone there, I find that really things have changed to the betterment. The roads are broad, good roads have come up, which were the broken road in our time. Even later, they're all tarmac, they're all, they have made it a two-lane road, at least if, bigger than one lane. We could cross each other. The roads have gone up to 12,000 feet and going across border where we captured, and good accommodation, good living system. And I found in the interior area, of course, the city of Srinagar may have different type of people, but interior area where we went, I found the civilians are as good and or as much supportive to India as I found those days. Everyone came and they pledged their support for the India, and we had a cross section cultural event where the children came and they gave out their songs of good songs. Mere Batan, jo has all these songs and all. They have sung. They have created they have put up a show. I didn't find any difference, and I try to probe defense side to okay. They are all prepared, well prepared, and all. I try to talk to the various people, local people, and try to find out their part of what they're thinking about it. So when I spoke to my Sikara, I went to have a Sikara ride also. When I talked to that fellow who was driving Sikara, initially he was not coming up, and I was probing him. I was seeing your where there was a bahak. Bahak means wooden log house. There are two stories, three-storied building with proper building, with cemented building, with good cover and all. People have got number of cars and all. In the Naugam, the road was full of cars and all. I said, this development you're having, or economic development, what's your problem? So they said, there are two things. One thing I like that Shikara wala said. That sab jo bhi hota hai, the big country has to have big patience. If something happens, small thing, you need not to put your entire force on us. You have to be able to tolerate something. Well, like this, he gave an example of two Biharis who were killed in somewhere in the interior. He said, look, sahab, ye humne nahi mara. These have been created by something. Otherwise, in Lal Chowk or in the Dal Lake area, there are 50 Biharis selling mumfulis. Mumfulis means groundnuts. We've got to kill them also. But they are not doing. And we also know that we have to go outside the Srinagar to sell our shawls and sarees and all. People are going all over India. We understand this, that we have to coexist. So it is. But now, after having talked everything, I find that we have to have socio-economic different plan by which you can get into our fold. We have to, one is that maximum people, as much as possible, ratio-wise or something, get the Kashmiris in the army. And that one chap in the Kashmir, in the army, will make another 10 chaps Indianized, even if they're not. They are, I'm totally convinced. And I was convinced before also, now also. Then you develop their economy. The moment the stomach is full, nobody goes anywhere else. Everything starts, even in India, inside India, so many places we have a problem. Because the stomach is hungry. You have to fill the stomach. And for that, you make a various projects, civil projects, economic projects. Now, why this so much of wealth is there in Kashmir? Because the various projects, capital projects are being taken by the India. Like the one 4-lane road is starting from Srinagar to Udhampur, finished. But what a big and wide road. I was so happy to drive through that. Then if there was a one soldier, in our time, there are 10 soldiers in that place. That means the expenses, local expenses, has grown to 10, 20 times. So that money is getting poured into Srinagar. So though they said the Sri Lanka is teaming with the army, but it is a direct effect on their livelihood because they get that much of money coming, flowing. Aloo kharidne ke liye nobody is going to come to Chandigarh, going to buy from there. That means that fellow who is the logistic line, he is getting the benefit. And there are so many people involved, vehicle, AO. So point is that we have to think in more broader view than absolutely political view and taking this political parochial view. And how you do it, of course, the big people are there. I don't have that much expertise to think. But local politicians should really think, align with the local people, and they should do something. And I'm sure this problem can be resolved. So, hey, Padosi Desh karte rahe, some problem will always be there, some losses will always be there. But we did not to be very much worried about it. This is my feeling. Well, debatable. People have had many, may have some other ideas. But I feel this is surmountable, provided instead of sitting inside the building and AC room, we go out and meet them. These local people should have enough confidence on the administration. If that is there, all problems will be solved. That's my feeling.
So what is your lesson for the, or what is your message for the future budding commanders and the existing commanders? We say that perhaps not very soon we will not be fighting a very full-fledged conventional war in modern times. And the future war will be very technology oriented. But somebody who has fought full-fledged war in Kashmir and somebody who has fought insurgency also in Sri Lanka. So you have tested both the conventional and unconventional war and have succeeded in both. So what is your message for the upcoming and the current crop of military commanders in terms of attaining your combat success in the future?
See, in battle, there are three things: strategy, tactics, and the fighting battle on ground. These three are ultimately they make you earn victory. Now, the tactics, strategy that I'm not discussing it. That's a political planning, whatever they want, what is their futuristic plan. But tactics always changes with the weapons coming from the bow and arrow or from the bhalla, that sword. Today, every time the new weapons came, the tactics changed. When that initially it was only rifle battle, then the machine gun came in the First World War. Machine gun against tank came, tank against aircraft came. So everything the change with this invention, the changes were then the battle tactics. And now it is the drone has come, missiles have come, the nuclear this thing has come. After having invented the nuclear weapons, one general said there is no longer the requirement of any great maneuver, leadership, or anything else in the battlefield, because one bomb will obliterate the entire target. But at the end of the day, whatever may be your weaponry and whatever may be a destructive capability, if you have to win the battle, that area has to be occupied by foot. That both soldiers will have to ultimately be employed at the place which you want to capture, or you want to declare having been captured or occupied. Your battle success depends on how much area ultimately you have captured. Now there are two things again. It is said that the great generals win the war without fighting a battle. That is, of course, those days are replaced by the government. General hasn't got anything to really do that much that much influence they don't have. So therefore, if you are strong enough, you can browbeat the other country, what partly China is trying to do. And you may, like China is putting money to capture countries, basically almost capture. The country is unable to pay back. So they're getting in turn that piece of land. So as Sun Tzu said that the great general fight their battle without fighting. That is being done partly by the China, I find. But at the end of the day, it has to be your foot soldiers who will have to occupy the place to really control that area. Now to get a good result from the foot soldiers, your as a commander and as a soldier, your link between these two is very important. That how much you treat them, how much you train them, how much they look up to you as a commander, how much faith do they have on you, how much a commander is commanded by sacrificing his own in the self, not that his self in life I'm talking about, but he has to take on all the problems, all the battle fatigue and all with the soldiers. The soldier and the commander, as whenever they become a team, so then only you can win the battle, because the first man in the section, even if he is commanded by a field marshal, but the person who influences the battle is the foot soldier, the section commander, Naik, or a Havildar, a sergeant, a platoon, or a platoon commander, up to company commander. They are the people who will go and win the battle. A general directs all right, but winning the battle is that. So training and then and the interaction between the commanders and men, their training, their welfare, everything combines to make them a team to fight. And the team to fight is very important. What they're saying that man behind the gun makes the difference. We have seen in 71 war, 65 war, the Pakistanis had a better arms, but we had won. Because of what? Because of the skill. That skill has to be developed. Whatever weapon you have, that has to be well operated, and the person behind that weapon has to be well motivated. And well motivation is only possible when they have the confidence in the commander. So whichever living confidence the commander with rank and file, because after all, going for a war on the death is inevitable to someone. And who is that someone? Nobody knows. When I entered the battle, initially every bullet sound used to give me a feeling that that bullet is coming to me. After 3 days, you find the bullets are flying on their own way. You are going on your own way. Jisko lagna hai, lagta hai. There are many incidents which I could have narrated, but time and space doesn't allow. So it is, if it is like Netaji said that the bullet is inscribed, then no bullet is inscribed for me. So he was fearless. So we have to do something like that. But the point is the rate of firing has increased so much that casualty rates are also increasing. But then part of life, this part of life, you're taking the profession. But this relationship between this commander and commanded is very important to fight and win any battle, despite whatever weapons you have.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your valuable time. And congratulations once again for completing 50 years of the being part of that most memorable military victory by any country since World War II. And it is we are fortunate to have people like you, soldiers like you, who have defended the nation at any given time. And we wish you all the best for your future endeavors. And we hope to see you around when we celebrate the 75th anniversary of the war as well.
Thank you, Uncovering India, to give us some space to speak ourselves. Otherwise, I felt that India should have commemorated this in a bigger way. I haven't found anybody talking about it. I haven't found any big presentation on this, so that people, young children of today's India could get more motivated towards joining army and for the country. Unless we speak these things, unless people know about these big events, actually this war was won after 1200 years by India as a country. Otherwise, we have been getting defeated from 1900 AD. We have been getting defeated one after another. Various people invaded us, but I haven't seen much propagation of this particular battle, this particular honor by any of the other than the army trying to do something. Why not nation? Nation hasn't spoken much about us. Those who have given their life to free a country without personal benefit. This never happened in the history, that you go into a country to save them from the atrocities by their own people and then hand over the country and come back within few months. No, then you have to remove that, you're going to fight the battle. You remove that occupier. It didn't happen. We were so broad. When it happened in 71, I saw entire India becoming one. From Kanyakumari to Kashmir to east and west, every Indian, every individual is saying that take revenge. How can they kill a few millions? So, but it has not been really given to the public that what we did, what happened, how the entire country emotionally and politically united. So I feel that this war should be given much more propagation than what we have done to get the country united. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We have one of very defense enthusiast and politically inclined youngster with us, Soumyajit Datta from Adams University. Soumyajit, would you like to ask anything to Col Gupta Ray regarding the 1971 war to Bangladesh front? Because your grandfather was also has very close ties with the Indian government at that time, which was involved in liberating Bangladesh. So maybe you could throw some light.
Yes, sir. On that time, actually, my grandfather was very much involved.
ষোলোই ডিসেম্বর তেজগাঁ বিমানবন্দরে এসে নামলেন জেনারেল অরোরা। রেসকোর্স ময়দানে আত্মসমর্পণের দলিল স্বাক্ষর দিলেন জেনারেল নিয়াজি। চূর্ণ হয়ে গেল পাকিস্তানি দম্ভ। মিত্রবাহিনীর পক্ষে দলিলে স্বাক্ষর দিলেন জেনারেল অরোরা। মুক্তিবাহিনীর পক্ষে উপস্থিত ছিলেন গ্রুপ ক্যাপ্টেন এ.কে. খন্দকার।
Now India thought she had an opportunity. The military preponderance of India has weighed heavily against Pakistan's military forces. And
इसलिए जब बात खत्म हो चुकी, जब किश्ती डूबने लगी, जब किश्ती को आग लगी, फिर याया खान ने कहा अब मैं हुकूमत अवामी नुमाइंदों को देना चाहता हूं।
For the people of West Pakistan, the news of defeat is a bombshell. They have been told they were winning a war. Now the war is lost. Revenge, a new war with India is the demand. But also there is a deeper sense of loss and bewilderment. Pakistan Radio broadcasts the songs of exile. The soldiers and the Razakars are treated as the murderers of Bengal, but they are not alone. 132 nations subscribe to the United Nations, to its ideals of justice and human worth, its pledge to redeem mankind from the scourge of war.
It is perhaps fitting that the Mufti Bahini was at the forefront when the Pakistani High Command in the East threw in the towel.
Is now the free capital of a free country. The instrument of surrender was signed in Dhaka at 16:31 hours Indian Standard Time by Lieutenant General A. Nazi on behalf of the Pakistan Eastern Command. Lieutenant General Ranjit Singh Arora, GOC in command of the Indian and Bangladesh forces in the Eastern Theatre, accepted the surrender.